Welcome, Sports Nation, to Sports DTM, the sports channel where we call sports down the middle. You can expect the latest in sports news, views, and reviews from our resident analysts. No sports topic is too controversial, and no team or player is above criticism. So just smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on our balanced offering of riveting sports content. And don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Sports DTM.
Greetings, sports fans, and welcome to another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Today we have another interview for you guys. This time, Reggae Boy, Romario Williams. How are you doing, Romario?
Yeah, thanks for having me first and foremost. Everything is good enough.
Yeah, and the family is okay?
Family is doing good. Family is good. Doing good myself. How's everything?
For the most part, good on my side. You're supposed to be over the moon. KC winning the Manning Cup.
Definitely.
Yeah. I saw you posting on IG.
Yeah, that was the second title in 4 years. Well, 3 years. 3
yeah,
years.
Both.
Yeah, because we won it the end of 2018 and then now 21-22 season. So yeah, 3 years. Second title in 3 years. You can't really complain.
Can't complain. Congrats, man. So fans, we interviewed Romario last year. If you guys can go back and watch that interview. So we're pretty much checking up on the baller, to see how he's doing. He's in a new country now with a new club over there in Kuwait. So how did that deal come about, Romario, all the way over to Kuwait?
Actually, I was home, due to personal reasons. And the club Kuwait, they were on the market looking for a striker, and I remember an agent contacted me on Instagram, asking me if I'm available. And, the contractor situation and, with everything that was going on, it was a bit difficult, but, the club in Egypt, they were willing to accept a deal if it was something that, works for both parties, and yeah, they were able to come to terms on an agreement, and it was a move that I found, attractive. I thought I could really come in and make an impact, and it was definitely a top club. It's a top club here in Kuwait. Well, it's it's the most successful club in Kuwait. So that was definitely positive, and that was certainly a factor in making the decision to come over here, knowing that I'd be playing with one of the top clubs, which gives me an opportunity to compete and challenge for titles.
Right, and to be seen as well, a lot of
absolutely, yeah, and
exposure.
That's also a part of it because here in the Middle East, the Kuwait League is more like a feeder league, if I'm being honest, to the Qatar League, the Emirates League, and as we know, the Saudi League. So those are probably the top 3 leagues for sure, without a doubt, in the Middle Eastern region. And, a lot of players have made the transition from the Kuwait League into those 3 leagues, just by being successful. So, hopefully I can, gain some success myself, and who knows what the future holds.
True. And you're with Qadsia, that's how you pronounce it? Qadsia SC over there in Kuwait. Yeah.
Right.
So how is life in Kuwait, and how is it different from being in Egypt?
Some similarities are there, given that, it's both countries are Arabic countries, their number one language is Arabic. So, from a language standpoint and from a religion standpoint, there's a lot of similarities there between the two. Given that I'm in the Middle East, things are a little different here in terms of the lifestyle.
Right.
It's a country that's pretty diverse. To be honest, there are a lot of people here from different walks of the world, different countries, different backgrounds. So, with that being said, there's more people to communicate with, that are from the outside, that are not necessarily Kuwaiti, you know, and there's a different way of life. There's definitely more to do outside of just football. You know, the people are certainly more outgoing, if I'm being honest. Teammates and even supporters and things like that. So, you know, it's been a smooth transition off the field, to be honest.
Good.
On the field, not as smooth, but yeah,
Getting
it's
there.
been it's been a good experience so far, and you know, I'm just trying to make the most of it and make the most of each day.
Which is right. So what's the food like? You still work with your bun and cheese, the Jamaican food over there?
Yeah, yeah, man, definitely. That not gonna ever change either.
Yeah,
Even if I come Jamaica tomorrow and me I leave Jamaica go back to the US. Even when we know it there the US, me still have a
still I
back. And
work with it.
yeah, that's just my thing from ever since
Yeah.
from Jamaica, 2012, forgot college. That's always been like my thing, you know. So, but yeah, the food though, the food good, the food
That's
good
good.
because funny enough, there are a lot of Americans in Kuwait. A lot of people
Okay.
might not know because the U.S. Army they have a
Have a
huge base.
base.
Yeah, they have a
Right.
huge base. So outside of that, there are a lot of Americans in Kuwait. In fact, there's also an American basketball player that's here as well. So, and as I say, it's a diverse country. So you find that the food they cater to a lot of those, you know, backgrounds. You know, those. It's a wide variety of options to choose from, to be honest. And in fact, there are a lot of restaurants here that I'm familiar with from in the US and also in Jamaica. So when it comes on
Okay.
to meals and food, you know, to some degree I feel right at home.
Okay. You currently sit third in the league, 1 point behind the leaders, Kazma. Still early days, but you guys think you can, you have enough, are you confident enough to win the league?
Definitely, because I don't know if you're aware, but it's only 10 teams in the league, and
Yeah.
it's a
Not
18
a lot of
game,
teams.
right? It's a 18 game
So it's
season, so
halfway through.
right halfway through, you can only gain a maximum of 54 points, and we have what 19
Mm-hmm.
points, I believe.
90, yeah.
19 points from 27 after the first round of games. Not necessarily, it's not bad, but it's
Not the end of the
not
world.
where we want it to be. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm being honest, we definitely let a couple games slip by. You know, from winning positions and also just poor performance as a team on a whole. You know, we failed to capitalize on some opportunities in the first slate of games, but nevertheless, we're 1 point off the lead, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all to play for in the second round. And I feel myself, teammates, and everyone within the club feel pretty good about our chances going into the second round of games.
Okay. On a personal standpoint, how many goals and assists so far, Romario?
Well, from league play, just strictly league play, 2 goals, 2 assists
2 goals, two
from
assists.
from nine
9 games.
games, but
Alright.
9 of those games only, well, 7 starts. Yeah, so 7 of those games were starts, and 2 of them
Okay.
because the first game of the season I only played about 5 minutes because I was
Mm-hmm.
coming back from a back injury. I had a lower back injury that kept me out for about 2 to 3 weeks leading up to the beginning of the season. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, besides the first game, I've played significant minutes in all the other matches. And yeah, 2 goals, 2 assists, strictly from
League.
league play. Is it the return that I anticipated or I wanted? No, definitely not. But when you're new to an environment, you're new to a team, you're new to a league. It takes time. Adapt. It takes time to adjust and adapt.
Mm-hmm.
The chemistry is there. It's getting better each and every day, each week. Every time we step on the field, we're still learning each other's strengths and weaknesses, especially me and my teammates in particular. But I feel pretty good about the second round, and hopefully, I can
Can
develop
push on.
a bit of rhythm and
Mm-hmm.
a bit of consistency going into the second half of the season.
I don't think that's too bad enough. 4 goal contribution in what, eight games
Yeah,
pretty much, and not
yeah,
counting the first
right,
game. So
right.
not so bad, Romario.
Definitely,
Uh,
definitely.
not so bad. In a new league, it going to take time, as I said before.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't matter where you go, where you play. Each situation going to present its own
Mm-hmm.
individual challenges. And as I said, my teammates and the club, they've done a good job of trying to make that transition as smooth as possible. As I say, you know, sometimes players go in and it happen right away. For some players, it doesn't necessarily happen that way. So
Mm-hmm.
for example, look at Messi now at PSG.
Struggling, struggling.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the usual Messi standards, and people from the outside would say, well, oh, Messi is not performing well, but Messi is Messi. He's still making an impact. He's just not putting up
Mm-hmm.
the numbers that we're accustomed to.
Right,
So,
right,
transition like those, it takes time.
exactly. You're now 27. Are you
Right.
still, waiting for that big move to a big club and get to a big league in the near future?
Yeah, definitely. You know, this is I've given everything to this sport since I was a teenager. Since I started taking this thing serious and actually made my mind up that I wanted to make a career out of this. So
Mm-hmm.
with every opportunity, every time you step on the field, you're always trying to improve. You're always trying to improve your situation. It's not that you're not happy with your current situation, but why be content? Why not try to maximize
Not
your
comfortable.
potential? Try to maximize your ability. Don't be content with or just settle for what you have now or where you are. Because it's a short window. It's a short window, and it's important that you make the most of each season. Every day, step on the field, how you can improve, how you can better your game, and that's something for me. Some days are better than some for sure. You have good days, you have
Mm-hmm.
bad days. There are days when you even doubt yourself, and I feel like that's perfectly normal as a player, as an athlete. But the process is what I enjoy the most. And you know the drive, the motivation, the desire, all that is still there. So as long as that's there, I'm just gonna keep doing the best,
Mm-hmm.
and ultimately, only my best can take me where I want to be, and ultimately where I dream of getting.
No, good, good, good. How good is the Kuwait Premier League?
It's a competitive league, as you can see
Mm-hmm.
based on the standings.
Yeah, yeah.
If I'm honest, there's only 3 points separate first from fifth.
Mm-hmm. Pretty tight at the top there. Yeah.
Right. So the first 5 teams, there's no room for error going into the second half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So the league is pretty competitive for the most part. One of the teams that are significantly underperforming, which is also a good team, is Nasser. I think they're sixth or seventh right now, but you know, we have, given that, as I said, we're one of the better teams, if not the best team here in Kuwait. So every game is difficult because you find it that
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants to beat Katsia. So you're going to get everybody's best game, you
Yeah.
know. It's kind of like, you have the hunter, you have the hunted. We're the hunted. Everyone wants to beat us because, we're the big club in Kuwait. So you can't take games off, you can't take plays off because you have to stay focused from minute 1 to 90 all the way through because teams are coming, and if you've seen any of the games, like we get everybody best shot. We get everybody best shot, and
Mm-hmm.
yes, we're probably more talented as a group, but at the end of the day, talent is not only talent can only do so much if the work doesn't match. So the league, I think it's a very good league. I think it's a competitive league. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if I compare it to the Egyptian Premier League, I think the Egyptian Premier League is definitely a stronger league. For sure. Yeah, definitely a stronger league. When you think about, the teams and the history and all of that, it's definitely a stronger league. But it's a pretty good league. I think it's a competitive league.
Okay. Me and a couple of the guys were joking around and say you're on leave Damien in Egypt. And he might forget out of there, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. That's
That's another story. So what would you say are your targets for this season?
Well, with 9 games to go in the league, and then we actually just lost a game recently in one of the cups, so we're out of that one. So as of now, we're guaranteed 10 more games. We have 9 league games and 1 cup game. As you know, cup, you're winning advance.
We don't know, you can drop out any minute. Yeah.
So we're guaranteed as of right now 10 more games.
10 more
9
games.
in the league, 1 in the cup. If we're talking strictly on the league, ideally, I'd like to get to double digits. As a striker, for me, my aim every season is to get to double digits.
Yeah.
The magic number is always 10, but it doesn't stop at 10. You get to 10,
I get it.
Keep the momentum going, keep your foot on the gas. So as I say, I have 2 right now with 9 games to play. Getting to 10, that would mean 8 from 9. I trust my abilities enough to know that that's something that's achievable. Is it?
Yeah, on penalties? Yeah, on penalties?
Give or take. I have 1 penalty to my name, but as I say, in the team, we have on any given day anybody can step up.
Anybody can step up. Okay.
We have the captain who have a penalty to his name. We have one of our wingers have penalty to their name. It's really there's no specific take up for the penalties. As I say,
okay.
At any given day, anybody can take the penalty. But I think it's a realistic goal.
All right. Playing abroad in these countries must be difficult without family and friends. How do you deal with this, and does it affect your football?
Yeah, already. If I'm being brutally honest, the experience last year in Egypt kind of somewhat prepared me for this one, because when I made the move to Egypt, it was my first time playing overseas, outside of America then.
America, yeah.
That was extremely, extremely challenging on many different levels. Even having a brother there, a close friend, we both encountered challenges on a daily basis, but as I say, we kind of, rally around each other and supported each other, and we got through the tough times, the tough days. So as I said, that somewhat prepared me for this, but how do I cope? It's just constant communication with family and friends, constant, because, they understand as well how difficult it is for me. So once you have that support, and it's important to have that support system. And fortunately for me, I have that. From top to bottom. From parents to go right down. And I get that motivation from them each and every day, from family, friends, all across the board. Checking in on a daily basis from time to time. And I say it's just constant, communication. I try to keep myself as occupied as possible. Not necessarily by being outside, but, just finding different things to do, whether that might be, watching a movie, watching a series, playing video games, talking with family and friends, just things like that, just to, keep myself occupied, not think too much, not think too far ahead, just kind of stay in the know, and just take it each day at a time, because I'm not saying since I've been here, it has been all sweet and dandy. No, I've had tough days. I've had rough days, but at the end of the day, you know the sacrifice, you know the goal, you know the end goal, you know why you're here, and at the end of the day, it's only for a matter of time. So why not give it everything you have and try to make the most of it and see what happens next or where things go from there. So yeah, I just try to keep myself pretty occupied as best as I can, and that's what really gets me through on a daily basis. I tend to go out every now and again just to kind of get out of the apartment and go out, maybe go to the mall or go to a restaurant, have dinner, them kind of vibes. But outside of that, just normal stuff on a daily basis.
So how's the measures there for the COVID? Relaxed?
Strict, very strict, very very strict. First of all, you can't enter the country unless you're fully vaccinated. That's the first thing. Upon entering the country, in order to clear quarantine, you have to do a COVID test on arrival. So you either do it at the airport or you do it outside the airport at any local clinic where they're conducting COVID tests. And you have to stay in quarantine until you get the results. If you are fully vaccinated and you return a negative, then you clear quarantine. You're good to go. If you are here and you test positive for COVID, like I did recently, mandatory quarantine 10 days. Then after that, you're clear. But in terms of wearing mask, they enforce it, but I don't think it's a situation where it's mandatory because I've been outside and in certain buildings, in certain places, it's mandatory. Like if you're going inside the bank, for sure you have to wear a mask. You have to have on your mask. But if you go to certain restaurants or you go to the mall or anywhere in outside, supermarket, they have the signs up. They encourage you to wear the mask, but it's not that if you don't have a mask or if you're not wearing a mask, they're going to deny you entry. You're going to still go in, but they're strict. There are strict measures in place here for sure.
Okay. Last question. What advice do you have for local footballers that might be a little bit skeptical about going to places like Vietnam, Kuwait, Egypt, those Middle East places, or even places in Europe?
Well, I can't speak for Vietnam because I know players have been there, but I don't necessarily have a close relationship with them, so I don't know what it's like. I can only speak of my personal experience, and I know I've friends that played in Europe, Jamaicans and even American players. At the end of the day, I think the biggest thing is first you gotta know what your purpose is. There's a saying, you gotta know your why. Because every time, every human being on earth should have a purpose. You should have a reason as to why you do something. And I think ultimately for them, if they want to reach the heights in their career, then they have to first figure out the why, and then after that, they have to think about the sacrifice that they have to make behind it. I was skeptical of playing overseas until I went overseas, because at the end of the day, if you don't do it, you will never know.
Yeah, you can't know until you go.
You can't know until you do it. You can't know until you try it. So, yeah, at some point in time, you have to make the decision to get out of your comfort zone. I was given opportunities to go overseas long before I went to Egypt, but I turned it down because mentally I don't think it was something I was prepared for, and I didn't necessarily want to leave my comfort zone. I had everything in America, good life, comfort, family, friends, and all of that. But sometimes you have to make those sacrifices to get out of your comfort zone, because, it just goes back to what I was saying earlier. Don't be content, because you can maximize your potential in so many different ways. And football is a global sport, and sometimes you make a move and, you might receive backlash, or that's not a good move, or it's not a good league.
Exactly.
Sometimes when you make that move, that's the move that kind of helped things to come full circle. And when you look back on the journey, you say, you know what, it was all worth it.
Mhm.
Because here I am now, you know. So they just have to figure out the why, and then once they figure out that, just knowing that it's going to take a lot of sacrifice and mental strength. Mental strength. It's a mental battle daily. Every single day, it's a mental battle being away from family and friends. But at the end of the day, there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and you're playing a sport that you love. You know, for me, football has given me everything that I have. I have given football everything for the last 10 plus years,
Right,
maybe
right.
15 plus years. So why stop now? You know, why stop now? Every day is tough, but as I said, I have a plan. I know my why, and it's just about, you know, just staying in the moment and being mentally strong and push through.
All right. I want to thank Romario Williams for joining us in the DTM studio.
Yeah, man, definitely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Dear Avid fans, Katsia striker and Reggae Boyz striker, Romario Williams, passing through to, just checking up to see, what's going on. He made a move from Egypt last year. And, we are interested to see how he progresses in his career. So I want to wish him all the best this season. I hope he can lift a trophy or two and,
Definitely.
stay injury free and, all the best. This has been another episode of Sports Down the Middle. Be blessed.